It's going, it's going to.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Spiritual Spotlight series. Today, I am joined by Bourne. She is a modern shamanic practitioner. She reads energy fields and brings forward signs and symbols from spirit to help bring insight, clarity, and healing to all of her clients. She's actually writing a memoir-style book that recounts her incredible journey to learn the truth of who she is. Welcome, Lily, so much to the Spiritual
Thank you.
Spotlight series.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I have to tell you, for some reason, me and recount is not a word I can say.
Okay,
I've
listen.
guys, for anyone that's listening, this is like my fourth attempt to say recount in her bio. So again, Lily, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my God, you're amazing. Yeah, no, it's some words are hard, and
Yeah,
it's
you know,
fine.
it's okay. So
It's
let's
great.
let's jump right in.
Dive in.
So you describe yourself as a modern shamanic practitioner. For those who may be unfamiliar with shamanism, can you maybe break down what your practice entails and how it aligns with our modern world?
Sure, sure. So obviously, this isn't the platform to like describe shamanism in its entirety.
Of
So
course.
I'll just say that shamanism is a spiritual practice. It's not a religion. It's a spiritual practice that dates back into, across the globe in many different cultures, ancient cultures through present day. And a shaman or a healer, sometimes different cultures have different names, but a shaman, a healer is usually somebody in the community who acts as an intermediary between spirit world and the physical world. And they use these skills to bring back healing messages for their community members. And it's the healing traditionally, a lot of people will get hung up on like a physical, there's a lot of stories of physical healing,
Right.
physical healing with shamans. The healing can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be spiritual. The modern shaman, obviously I'm not coming from an indigenous culture.
Right.
It's really just I'd like to say, I'm a practicing like the shamanic life path. And it's really just in my everyday, both for myself and for clients, seeking out a relationship with spirit and the guidance and that's available to us, in the energetic world, spirit world. And so, I do say, like, the modern shaman, my take on it, the modern shaman really isn't there to perform miracles for people, though spontaneous healings do occur.
Of course.
But it's really, the modern shaman is really to open a door for people. It's really to open a door for people to access the ability to heal on a deeper level. So people come to me with physical ailments, with chronic illnesses, or with relationship issues, or they're stuck in life and they see repeated patterns in relationships, or, they feel stuck in some area. And really these journeys, these sessions that we have together are an effort to bring awareness to the client in an effort to help them find the best way forward for their healing.
That's a beautiful answer. I love that. And also with modern shamanism, you also kind of tap into like everyday nature also, correct?
Every
Like
day.
yeah.
That's
I,
the best. Yeah.
I love that you're walking the path. Like you're walking the talk. Like just be, I know that you're a practitioner, but you're doing
Oh,
this work on yourself.
oh, yes. And I tell you, thank you for so intuitively saying that out loud, because it's such a journey. They are completely intertwined.
Yeah.
And should never be surprised what spirit has in store. But part of this journey, even this podcast, I know it to be true, is a part of my own healing journey. And it's very important to me that I am absolutely walking the walk in my everyday life. I would like to say, like, these messages that come in during meditation, the meditations I go into, I call a journey. Okay. They can come in many different forms. And before I go into my journey state, there's no way for me to predetermine what I will see, hear, or feel. And so that's always interesting. And this guidance, these messages are, they can come in the form of spirit guides, plants, animals, deceased loved ones, ancestral energy. So really it runs the gamut. It really runs the gamut. And it's exciting. And every journey is literally, it's different,
It's so true. I am an Akashic Record practitioner and healer. And I say to my clients as well, I'm like, I'm not sure what we're going to get, but we're going to just enjoy the ride.
There we go.
And I think that's what I love, what I do. And probably with you too, is that we don't get stuck in a routine. Like it's like, no matter what the universal energy is bringing to us, we can work with it, but it's amazing to see what they bring to us.
Oh, it's so interesting. Yeah. It's so fascinating. And I do think that spirit, like if somebody comes to me with a couple things, which is often, usually it's not just one thing, usually there are a few. And I like to sort of limit it to 3. I always tell them I will go in with this intention, but spirit will prioritize what they feel that you need to know at this time.
I would imagine with your sessions that when your clients come in and what they bring to you is not really the healing that they need. It's kind of like what's on the surface, and then you're digging down in and you're like, okay, let's go.
I like to get to the root. We like to get to the root. And sometimes having that reflected back to you, like I talk about it, we can see where the questions go, but like the reading the energy, sometimes to have something reflected back to you just in a slightly different lens, a slightly different language, it can be very validating for people.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this, because you're kind of tapping on it now. So you offer a unique blend of reading energy fields and interpreting signs from spirit. How do these methods work in tandem to provide clarity and healing to all of your clients?
Right. Okay. So in my long journeys, my traditional journey, I do go into the energy field and read their entire chakra system, just the 7 main chakras. And, I like to figure out where there might be blocks or imbalances in their chakra system. And of course, each chakra relates to certain aspects of life. And like, for example, like the throat chakra, like somebody might come to me and I might see something, imbalance in the throat chakra or something stuck. And this could present as like somebody who has trouble expressing themselves, somebody that has trouble speaking their truth easily or confidently. It can also manifest physically. Throat, throat infection, laryngitis, thyroid issues, neck pain. So, it's spirit will often show me the sign, they'll show me where the block is. And just by giving this language for the client, just giving this language, it's like, okay, yeah, that feels right. Usually, that feels right for them. And it's bringing that awareness is like half the battle, I think.
Absolutely. 100%. Like you just said about the throat chakra. I don't think people realize that they're swallowing their truth. They're holding back. They're not able to speak their truth because of maybe, past life experiences or this life experiences. And I love that you're bringing a light to something that they might not even be aware of.
Right. And this is going back to that concept of like opening the door. We go, and I believe in modern medicine as well, but I also believe that if we could just incorporate this, energetic medicine into our lives, how much more whole and healthy we could be, mind, body, spirit. So it's really, again, about opening this door for people and bringing light to how they can access a deeper form of healing.
Absolutely. So let's talk about your business. It's called White Feather Journey. That sounds fascinating. Can you maybe share the story behind its name and all the services that you do offer?
Right. So White Feather Journey.
Yes. I love the name.
Yeah, look at that name there. Well, I'll tell you, years ago when I actually started my website production, it has been years. I went into, I was like, oh, what will I name this? And so I went into a journey state, and I tell you, my expectations were not very high. I was just going to see what signs and symbols arose. And I had quite an incredible vision. It was a ceremony, and I won't get into it, but it was really, really detailed and really quite incredible. And there was a ceremony involved where there was this beautiful white feather sort of head adornment. We might call it a headdress. And it was so validating and so humbling. I wrote it down right away.
Aww.
And it was a very humbling experience and very powerful and validating. And that is where, White Feather Journey arose, because it was my White Feather Journey. And I do write about it in my memoir, the details of that.
I love that. So let's talk about your memoir. So you're currently writing a memoir that deals with your adoption and your journey to find belonging. What prompted you to share such a personal story, and how has the process of writing been for you?
Right. Total honesty right now, right? Like, this is total honesty. Here's the thing. I think there is some ambivalence on my part about writing this book.
Yeah.
For all my life, I always wanted to write a book, but I truly tell you, it was always something more fantastical, like witches and potions, or just cowboys and I don't know, Western romance. I never really thought that it would be sort of highlighting the painful part of my own personal path.
Right.
So I felt like I was really moved to do this. I was called to do it. And I understand that this is a big step in my own healing journey. My book, it does describe some of the adoption experience, but it's not really just about adoption. It's about my personal struggle to find that belonging. And the theme of this belonging, that I thought I'd find it when I found my birth parents. I thought I'd find it, when I got married and had children in my own family unit. And the truth is, it was not that easy. And that belonging didn't really start I found it in an unusual place. And when I started actively doing this work for others, was that pivotal season. It wasn't one moment, but it was like this season of life where it really started to click. And I sort of found that belonging and that comfort and that knowing and security when I started doing this work for others.
Yeah. So it's almost like, I know you said that your journey to discover your roots led you to an unexpected place, was the connection to the spirit world. Can you maybe share an antidote or a moment? And I know you just said it was a blending of all things.
Yeah.
Maybe just one moment or just a story that you can share that led you to this realization.
This is so hard. I did think about this beforehand, and it really, the White Feather Journey was pretty powerful. That was a moment where, gosh, I have a couple moments I could share, but I think the White Feather Journey was pretty pivotal for me. It was a very clear vision, and it sort of secured my spot. I tell you, it's very anticlimactic. The one time I tried to go exercise, which is a thing of the past for me. It's a thing of the past, but every now and then I get to try to do it. And a couple of years back, I was like, I'm going to go on my little 2-mile jog walk thing. And, all of a sudden I felt very small, but in a good way. I was doing my work. Relationships were all confusing in my life, but something was different. I felt so small in the trees and the birds and the light. And I started to get to thinking, no, it's not my birth mother. It's not my family. It's bigger. There's something bigger happening. And I felt like this tiny speck on the planet, but I felt very connected to the energetic world. And I thought, oh my God, this is it. This is where I belong. I belong here as a part of this energetic world. I don't know. It's really,
it's a beautiful thing.
It's not so interesting,
but it is. I mean, the thing is, I want to give you credit to the fact that not everyone has this big moment where they're connected to the unseen and they're connected to their intuitive gifts. It's a slow stream. It's a slow path. It's not like somebody pulls open the curtain and there you are.
Yeah, that would have been good. That would have been fun. I would have been on board with that.
I don't know. Like I
feel a little harder than that. It was a little harder.
It is. And it's an ongoing journey, an ongoing unfolding. And it's a commitment to yourself and to your path that, you know, we don't necessarily have to know every single answer. But I love the fact that brought you back to a connective piece of I'm with the universe.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. I was a child. I remember coming back and I'm like, okay, Lily, as cheesy as it sounds, I was like, I'm a child of the universe.
But
like
you
I am,
are.
you know, I am not my mother's daughter. I'm not, you know? And so it was, you know, it was important for me it was always going to be a part of the path. I understand that. But it's really incredible.
It's an important moment in your path.
Yes.
And I appreciate that. And I also appreciate that, again, that it's for those that are listening, you know, that are maybe looking to activate and to hone in on their spiritual gifts and their intuitive sense. It's not always, you know, like, oh my God, this big moment. It's not. It's those small whispers.
Oh, the small whispers are the best though. And you know, that's sort of really a part of what I get really excited about is, you know, helping people tap in to their potential. And the thing is, you know, it's like for people that feel like, oh, they want to explore their own gifts or they feel an intuition, you know, my advice to them is like, lean into it.
Yeah.
You know, like lean into this. If you've ever thought here or there that you have potential, you do. It's that simple, like bottom line, period, done. Like it truly is accessible to everyone. And that's what I get. Like I work with people like all different kinds of people, you know, like mechanics, doctors, therapists, you know, teachers, you know, it runs the gamut. But like, you know, I'm never surprised how many people come to me with stories of their own where they're like, oh, this funny thing happened. It's such a coincidence. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, no such thing.
So your practice, like you're talking about now, aims to show the wealth of support available in the unseen world.
Oh, yeah.
How do you help your clients to become more attuned to these gifts?
Well, you know, it's really how obviously sort of the work that we do and whatever comes forward in our session, you know, I bring awareness to the chakras or I bring awareness from spirit. But beyond that, you know, I really encourage people. This is hard. Listen, this is like a hard road here, kid. This is hard. Okay, but we can do it. We can all do it. It's the trusting, right? So like there's all this guidance out there. People are confused. Like, do I take this job? Do I do this? Like, which way do I go? My mother's driving me crazy. I can't, you know, there's all this stuff. There are signs and symbols in our everyday life that I encourage people to pay attention to. So like, a bird is never just a bird. I tried to have one foot in the real world and one foot in the spiritual world for a while where I was like, I prided myself on being practical. No, it's done. I'm over. I've elevated. A bird is never just a bird.
So true.
The friend that calls you, you were just thinking about this old friend and they call you on the phone. Yeah. You know, you see the license plate, you got the repeating numbers, like all of these things. I encourage people to give them more weight. Everybody loves the word coincidence. And I'm like, it's not a coincidence. These are synchronicities. Yes. These are messages. The bird at your window, you know, whatever it is, the frog on your step, there is information there. It's just a matter of listening, paying attention, watch, listen. And then this is the hardest part. Trust that those signs and symbols are there for you. And
Absolutely.
the more you lean into it and the more weight you give that message, the closer you become to the divine. And it gives me goosebumps. It's incredible. It's incredible.
I love how excited you are. And you're 100% correct. Like, there are every single day I'm looking for a sign from the universe, and you are so spot on with what you're saying. I even feel the energy shifting. I love that.
Yes.
Before I ask 2 more questions,
yes.
What is the best way for anyone who is interested in working with you, learning more about you? Where's the best place to go to?
Okay, right, exactly. So again, full disclosure, I have not published my website. My website should be published officially in the next 3 to 6 months. Okay. And that will be White Feather Journey, which I will put.
And the good thing is when this airs, this will be past then. So tell us your website.
Yeah. So the website, it's whitefeatherjourney.com.
Perfect.
Yes. And then my Instagram, listen, I am not Miss Social Media here. Something I need to also step into, learn the things. I prefer to spend time doing the work. I'm not like very savvy, but it is a way for people to get in touch with me on my Instagram, and it's white_feather journey. Okay. And so you can direct message me there.
Perfect.
Or you can email me for my offerings.
Yeah.
At lilywhitefeathers@gmail.com.
I love that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. You mentioned a love for all things esoteric, coffee, animals, cowboy boots included. How do these everyday loves inform or enrich your spiritual practices?
I love this question. I was like, wow, this is a great question. We could go a lot of different avenues. Okay. Everything esoteric. Here's the thing. I love the crystals. I love the tarot cards. I love oracle cards. And I use these as a regular part of my everyday life. Oftentimes, spirit and journey will show me an image of a card to help me better describe a situation, or maybe they'll show me a certain crystal to help me explore what actions or thoughts might the client need. So, having all of these tools and using them in my everyday life, it really enriches my, it helps me it helps me understand the message that are coming through, not only for myself, but for my clients. Coffee is my daily ritual. It is my daily practice. It is my daily ritual. It is my love. It is my necessity. Let's not lie about it. I need the coffee.
Amen.
Amen. I need the coffee. I love it. My kids make fun of me. I'm like, I just have to have the coffee.
But let me ask you this real quickly, and I'm sorry for jumping you off here. I have another friend who's a shamanic practitioner. She uses coffee to ground herself.
Oh, she does?
Always has to have coffee to pull her back in.
Oh, that's very interesting.
She's always like, because she's a medium as well. And so whenever she's out, and you are as well. She's always like, and I love the fact that you're like, no, it's almost like, it's grounding for you.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And it really is, it's a great word, grounding. And I use the word ritual, but it truly is my ritual. Like after I meet clients, like I have to do the same.
Pull yourself back in.
And get and I have to sit and and it's hard. It's hard to do that with 3 kids.
100%.
Right.
God bless you.
It's a necessity though. It is. And of course the animals, I love all animals, domesticated, but also from the entire kingdom. And what I find interesting, I like to learn about all different kinds of animals, and they often show up many a time in journeys. And what I find it interesting is people, not only the animals that they tilt toward, that they have an affinity for, but the animals that they dislike or have an aversion to. You can really explore that, what animals you also have an aversion to, and what you can learn. They have so much to teach us, what we can learn from these animals, what we can learn about ourselves.
I love that.
Cowboy boots, I just love them. I have a cowboy spirit. I want to live out west.
Where do you live now, if you don't mind me asking?
I want to go west. I'm going west. Go west. Go home. I don't know. I live in Pennsylvania currently.
I love that. Okay, I'm in New York, so I love it.
So
I love
you know, Northeast, beautiful fall foliage.
How weird was it that, okay, never mind. We're off topic here. I love that. I love that. But I feel you going to like the West. Like,
yes, I feel like I'm half there.
I already see you in like a journey. Like,
you see me? I'm there.
You're already there.
Bless your heart. Bless your heart for that validation, because I feel it too. And it makes not a lick of sense.
It doesn't matter. It's like me wanting to go back down south. Like, it's like, okay, Rachel, but I know I'm there and I know I'm going. But
you will get there. We will get there.
We will get there. I love this. Okay.
I'm excited.
Final question.
Tell me now.
So as I hit my microphone, what is next for Lily Bourne and White Feather Journey?
Girl.
So much.
I don't know.
She's like,
this is it. Like, here I am. I'm coming out, you know? Oh no. Yep. I'm coming out. This is a part of the path. This book, this memoir, this painful part, it needs to be written. It needs to be signed, sealed, and delivered. I need to publish it. And I'm not a writer, but I am a writer. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm a storyteller here, but these two things, the publishing, coming out fully to the public, publishing my website, and the anticipation of publishing my website and publishing this book are going to be my next big, you know, my next big adventures.
I love that.
And just to continue to do the work.
Absolutely. One day at a time.
One thing at a time.
So Lily, thank you. Thank you so much for coming to the Spiritual Spotlight series. You are a pleasure. I definitely look forward to speaking with you again soon.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. You made this painless and easy and fun, and I just really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.